Hey guys, and welcome back to today's college football pick video play where we're going to be talking about this contest over in the Mid-American Conference between Bowling Green and Kent State. To get all of our college football picks, you can check those out over at stumpthespread.com, link down in the video description, and be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Heading into this one, Bowling Green sits as about 1.5 to 2 point favorites here against Kent State. These are two teams that have both really struggled this year. Bowling Green, in comparison to Kent State, has had slightly better results overall, and part of that you would have to assume is because James Morgan, their starting QB, is still healthy and in there, while Kent State has had injury concerns. Nick Holly is out. They've had to go to their backup quarterback. And just in terms of their overall results in comparison to Bowling Green, not quite as good, so that's why Bowling Green finds themselves as slight favorites here on the road, despite the fact that the Falcons are just 1-7 overall on the year. Kent State just 2-6, but the road team today, Bowling Green, coming off of not a great result in their last outing at home, losing to a very good Northern Illinois team by a final of 17-48. Prior to that, a little bit more respectable result against another very good MAC opponent, losing to Ohio 30-48, and then one game before that, getting their one win on the year on the road against Miami, Ohio, picking up that one by a final of 37-29. That's a Miami of Ohio team that many thought were going to be able to take a step forward this year, but actually Miami of Ohio has gone on to lose to both Bowling Green and Kent State, and they've kind of fallen back a little bit. Neither of these teams coming into today's matchup are going to be going to a bowl game this year. They're pretty much just playing for their own pride and results and trying to build a little bit momentum going into the final month of the regular season and maybe have something positive to build around going into the offseason. But the Falcons right now not having a whole lot of success on either side of the ball. They rank 116th in all of college football in scoring average and 120th in total team defense. Their offensive numbers are actually a little bit more respectable than what their scoring average might suggest. They rank 69th in all of college football in passing and 81st in total rushing. So if they are able to continue to replicate those kind of numbers, we would expect that their overall offensive output should get a little bit better than that 116th ranking that we're currently seeing out of the Falcons. Moving over to the home team today, Kent State. They are also coming off of a poor performance. They were absolutely blown out on the road by Ohio, losing that one by a final of 30-48. Prior to that was the one win that we've seen out of the Golden Flashes so far this year. It came at home against Miami, Ohio, picking up that one by a final of 17-14. And then also prior to that on the schedule, you just have consistent blowout losses against teams like Marshall, Louisville, Buffalo, and Northern Illinois. But when you look at Kent State from top to bottom, even though their margin of victory maybe hasn't been quite as competitive in general as Bowling Green, they've also gone against a very tough schedule. There hasn't been really any easy matchups on the board for Kent State this year outside of their win against a struggling Miami of Ohio team and also, of course, their win against Howard. And you compare that over to Bowling Green, where their margin of defeats this year have been slightly more competitive than their opponent today. They haven't gone quite against as tough of a schedule overall, but still nonetheless losing by large margins to tough opponents like Michigan State, Northwestern, Ohio, Northern Illinois, and then also losing to an FCS opponent, South Dakota, at home by 8 points is a really bad look there for Bowling Green as well. So neither of these teams having great results, but just in comparison for Kent State, their total numbers this year, they rank 130th, dead last in the FBS in scoring average, and they are 102nd in total team defense. This pass attack for Kent State has been non-existent, ranking 126th in total team passing yards, 85th in rushing average, so some really ugly stuff out of Kent State coming into this one. So when you add it all up, we do expect this to be an uglier matchup, probably a little bit lower scoring, but also you have to consider the fact that even though both of these teams have really struggled on the offensive side of the ball, at least they're both getting to go against what have been some pretty poor defenses as well, so they might be able to have a slight uptick on that side of the ball. We expect a competitive matchup here. Both of these teams have been putting up somewhat similar numbers, but when you just compare here, Bowling Green has had better offensive numbers and statistics this year, and we feel like that's going to play out in this one. So we're going to go ahead side with the Bowling Green Falcons here, giving the 2 points as our college football pick video play for today's action. Again, guys, to get all of our college football plays, you can check those out over at stumpthespread.com, link down in the video description. And be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping on in, and we hope to see you guys in future videos. Bye.